Hello there, and welcome to today's video, where I'll be discussing Casualty's move to Wales, my thoughts, feelings, and whether this could be the final nail in the coffin for Holby City. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Change is very rarely embraced, without any trace of apprehension, as people don't usually like challenging the status quo. But it's the duty of showrunners, producers, and everyone else in charge of a show like Casualty to ensure it continues to grow and thrive, adapt, and most importantly, change. If they failed at that, we would never have been on the precipice of Casualty's 40th anniversary. Earlier this year, the BBC put Casualty out for competitive tender, meaning other production companies can pitch for the chance to produce the show rather than BBC Studios. Whoever ends up producing Casualty, they'll have to implement a major shake-up planned by the corporation. Casualty will no longer be set in Holby, which is in southwest England. It will be moved to Wales as part of the BBC's commitment to better represent all of Britain. Since 2011, Wales has been Casualty's home, as the show is filmed in Cardiff at Rough Lock Studios, so I've always made it my own personal headcanon that Holby is now in Wales. I don't say this lightly, but if I was pitching how I'd handle the shake-up, it'd be far simpler and more satisfying to just retcon Holby as being in Wales. That way you don't have to get rid of Holby or explain how a dozen or so staff have packed up and moved to Wales. My main concern, to be honest, is this feels like the final nail in the coffin for Holby City. There was always that glimmer of hope the show could come back eventually, just like Waterloo Road, but if we leave the city of Holby behind, the future looks very dark indeed. While it was able to stand alone and forge its own identity, Holby City was ultimately conceived as Casualty's sister show, which is likely why it was first on the chopping block. If you've got to make cuts and save some cash, you get rid of the surplus first. Enjoying the video? Why not like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. As hard as it is, I can't hold a grudge against the BBC for the choices they've made. It sucks that they've had to be the Grim Reaper, cancelling shows left, right and centre, and it feels like there must have been other solutions. But everyone's counting the pennies and struggling with rising costs, even major corporations and companies. I respect them for not spreading their resources too thin and investing in making Casualty the best show it can be, with these 12-episode box sets being a game changer for the drama. But this decision feels very much like a statement of intention of what they plan to do regarding Holby City. Up until now, there's been that loose connection tying the two together as they're part of the same hospital. We can imagine our old favourites working upstairs, saving lives, and there's always that chance they could pop down to help out. A small consolation for the cancellation, as Holby City was left in the place where you could pick it up from. But with Casualty moving to Wales and leaving Holby in the rearview mirror, this suggests to me that the BBC have no intention of bringing the show back anytime soon, if ever. By no means have the BBC concocted a Machiavellian scheme to prevent Holby City's return. That's not what I'm saying. The move to Wales has been a long time coming. It probably should have happened 14 years ago when it became Casualty's new home. However, I do believe this could be their way of saying, hey, we've got no plans for a revival, but we think this is what's best for Casualty, so it's what we're going to do. Is it disappointing? Yes. Do I wish Holby would just be in Wales? You know my answer. Will I stop watching? Absolutely not. Like I've said, I've always just assumed we've been in Wales, and I'm more concerned about moving out of Holby. This might be a little bit hyperbolic, but right now it feels like Batman without Gotham, Superman without Metropolis. Casualty and Holby are tied together. It's part of the show's legacy as we see the staff and patients of the city week in, week out. It's not just the fear of never seeing Holby City come back. I'll miss hearing the words Holby ED and Holby 3006 pretty much every episode, unless of course the Victorious production company come up with a clever in-universe explanation for why the new hospital's called Holby too. I mean, it wouldn't be the only hospital in the country with the same name. But what do you guys think? Are you excited about the move to Wales? Do you think it's what's right for the show? Or are you concerned about leaving Holby behind too? Let me know what you think in the comments below.